Hi, and welcome again to the Songwriter's Journey. I wanted to record a quick video tonight. This is totally off the cuff, but I wanted to share some experiences I had this past week just in meeting people. So, one of the things I find as a songwriter that's really important, as important as writing songs, is building your network. Um, so, what I mean by that is, as a songwriter or even as a musician, you probably won't have all the skills that you would need in order to get a song or a record to fruition, all the way out the other side, right? So obviously, you might need a record company, publisher, things like that. Those ones seem to be more obvious. But closer to home, you may also need somebody who can produce for you if you have a record deal that's probably coming from the record company. But as a young startup, you're not going to have any of that. And it's good to build those networks and reach out to people and talk to people about those things, like producing your music, doing the mix, creating the demos. If you don't have the equipment or the capability of doing that, you're going to need somebody to do that for you. Um, my goal for myself is to be able to produce my own demos. My voice is okay, as a singer. I can certainly do a backup, and be in tune and not pitchy. But as far as a solo performance goes, yeah, I really wouldn't hire me. So I need to rely on other people for that. And so I'm reaching out and trying to find people who I think I might like or I might want to work with based on how they behave, maybe online or just an interaction or something like that, or just I read about something and it just kind of varies. I'll get this twinge like, oh, you should reach out to that person. So I'll reach out, and this happened like twice over the past week and a half. One gentleman, it took us about 3 weeks to get together, totally unexpectedly. The first two times that we set up, we both missed the meeting. One time was definitely myself. The second time was myself and maybe him. And I'd made an assumption that he just didn't want to get together. And so I messaged him and I said, hey, I don't really like leaving things open. I guess, after not hearing back from you for a couple weeks, you don't really want to talk. So, I wish you the best and just want to close the loop. And, he messaged back, said, hey, no, man, not at all. That's not the case at all. Um, and then just kind of left it there. And I'm like, well, okay, I feel stupid. So I reached back out and I said, hey, man, batting 0 for 100. If you're open, I'd still like to get together and talk and kind of, just meet you and have a conversation. And so we did that, and it ended up being just a wonderful conversation. He and I have had a lot of similar experiences, in the past year. We both kind of started about the same time, I guess. Maybe he might have been in a little longer. I'm not sure. But we're both part of the same mentoring program, and that's how I found him. But we'd had similar experiences with other co-writes that just didn't go great, and he kind of, decided, hey, I'm going to work on my own for now, and all that. And I do end up hearing that a lot. Um, it was just ended up being a great conversation, and at the end of the conversation, we decided, we're probably not going to do anything together right now. He wants to work on his stuff, and that's great, But we had a great conversation. He's in a totally different genre and kind of world of music than I am. I'm country. He's a lot of other stuff. I don't know that I could actually categorize him, but it was just a good connection. And as a person, I liked him, and that was probably the most important part. Who cares what the music is? We'll probably do something at some point once we're both more comfortable in our skin in the industry. But it's important to meet people like that and just kind of like start building that network because you never know when you might need to lean on somebody and they're just in your Rolodex or your iPhone or whatever, and you reach out and say, hey, I'm doing this. You open, you got time. So he was one of them. That was just a pleasant surprise talking to him. Another one was a woman that I'd reached out to. Again, part of my mentoring program, and saw her in a message, kind of a chat going on. And I said, hey, I'd love to connect or just talk. And are you open for that? A Zoom coffee, something like that. So her and I started talking. We talked for like an hour and a half over Zoom. And, it was just a great conversation. We were both walked away from it, I think, feeling like, oh, yeah, this was really good. Let's keep in touch. She's in the folk. I'm more in the country. I mean, maybe there's a little bit of crossover there, something that could work. But we didn't really leave that conversation thinking we'd end up working together on anything specific in the moment. She's kind of got her focus, and I'm in a little bit of a different direction. And that's great. But we agreed to, keep in touch and to bounce ideas off of each other and just to be there for one another as professional musicians and songwriters. just because we're both pursuing stuff. And that was just an awesome connection to have. So I think as you're developing your songwriting skills and you're developing being a musician or working in a band or whatever it may be, it's very important to keep reaching out and meeting new people and building your network, because you never know, A, who you're going to run into that you like and want to work with, and B, what skills they may bring to the table that you may need at another time. And you always have to be open to that. And I would encourage you, be kind to everyone. Doesn't matter whether you agree with them on everything or not, just be kind. Because you never know. You may end up working with them, and it may end up being an excellent collaboration that just, who knows, maybe it retires you. It's an album that just goes crazy and, ends up being a great thing. But constantly be on the lookout for people you might want to talk to, and put yourself out there and just say, hey, let's get together, have a Zoom coffee or something. And, you'll kind of have to figure out how you filter that. But, definitely make the effort and pursue people. And as always, captain your ship, raise the tide, and enjoy the ride. Thank you. Till next time.